Hey, Very Intentional fam. Welcome back to the Very Intentional Mama, where I am healing intentionally and bringing you along the journey so that you know that your healing is possible and it matters. So, for the next couple months, you're going to see me having some amazing conversations with women who have joined me to speak at the Healing Takes a Village Summit. This summit is all about breaking up with the identities that do not serve us, rebuilding our foundation on community, and being poured back into as moms so that we can see what it really looks like to do life with others. Today's conversation was right on time as I am in my life and there are a lot of adjustments and transitionings and new things happening. It was nice to talk about how to get into the rhythm of what life looks like now. And so I am so excited for you to hear from our special guest. All right, so thank you so much, Dom, for joining us today. I'd love for you to start off by telling us what type of mama you are.
Yeah, thank you for having me. So I am an autism mom, a single mom, a black mom, a mom from the Midwest living in the South, and a toddler mom.
Okay, okay, that's a lot of things up in there, and I'm like, So my question always is, why did you move from the West to the South?
Yeah, I grew up in Nebraska, that's where I'm from, that's where I was born and raised. And when I moved to St. Louis for college, I actually thought I was going to stay there. Love the city. My best friend was there. It was close enough but far enough from home where I'm like, I'm good here. There was a lot of I could afford it, right? Like as a college student, so it felt great. And I applied for a program after graduating, and I swear I put St. Louis as my number one choice, and everybody's like, "I always get my number one or number two choice, right?"
Mm-hmm.
I got my number like 10 choice on the list, and it was Atlanta. And I'm like, "What?" And then I didn't know that I could have appealed and been like, "No, I really need to stay." But in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to lie. Like, I actually don't have a real reason why I need to stay.
Yeah.
And so Atlanta is the reason I started this journey across the South. So I was in Atlanta for 3 years. I was in Birmingham, Alabama for a total of 4 years. So 3 years I left and went to Nashville for 3 years. I had this 3 year thing going on. Nashville for 3 years, went back to Birmingham for a year, and now I have been in the Dallas, Texas area for the past 10 years, almost exactly 10 years. It'll
Oh,
be 10 years in a few months.
well, that's awesome. Well, congratulations
Yeah.
to all your moves.
Yeah,
And we're just gonna say that by saying Atlanta was a blessing in the sky.
it was. Who knew? I literally was like, Atlanta? That wasn't on my list. Like, what are you saying? Then I went and looked. I was like, oh, it was, but it was far down. Why?
Right.
Why me? But for me, I'm like, God wanted me there. God wanted me in Atlanta. I learned a lot in Atlanta. I have some amazing people that I met in Atlanta. The just understanding and like kind of growing up a little bit more in my early 20s in Atlanta, I think that was really a blessing.
Awesome. So I did hear that you said that you met a lot of amazing people in Atlanta. Did you already know people in these areas before you moved there, or was it like starting fresh?
No, it was starting fresh. I didn't know anybody. It was so fresh that my mom was like, "You don't know nobody. I want to get out of Nebraska. Can I come with you?" And I'm like, "Sure." Like, why not? So had to really build community in a very different way. I feel like when you're at college, you're in class with people, you're in organizations with people, all that sort of thing. So like you're going to almost naturally meet
Yeah.
people just like through your engagement, your involvement. In Atlanta, it wasn't like that. Like I had my job, I had the program I was in, but like everybody was really focused on the program and you sort of built relationships, but then, then I had my job. I was starting to build friendships there, but these are like working people. They don't want to see me all day, every day outside of work. So yeah, I had to figure out, okay, how am I going to do this? And so it started with church and then meeting people and getting involved in the church youth group as a volunteer. I met some of my best friends there. And then also got a chance to like then get to meet some of their people, which just expanded the network. So it was really really cool how that happened. And I realized it's really important to be rooted like in community no matter where you are. Just find your people. You don't have to go and do what everybody else is doing.
Right.
What is your thing? And at the time for me, the thing that I was really rooted in coming out of college was the Bible study and like Christian group that I was a part of on campus. And so I wanted to continue that work at a church,
Mhm.
and I knew how important youth group was for me growing up. So I'm like, well, this just makes sense. I'm old enough to be a volunteer now. I worked at the welcome desk at the church, so I got to welcome the kids in. That was really hard for an introvert. I am an introvert. This online stuff works really well for me because of that. But still like being a face that the children were used to seeing was really cool. And I got to see every child's face. So uh, yeah, it was really, really, really cool and reminded me of how important just like finding my thing, um, at the time and almost going all in on it and committing to it.
I love that. I mean, I really love the fact that your mom was like, "Hey, can I come with you?" Is she still with you now?
Yes.
Way to go, mom.
She left 4 times. So when I left Atlanta and moved to Birmingham,
Hmm.
she stayed in Atlanta. She really loved Atlanta. When I moved to Nashville, I asked her if she wanted to come
Yeah.
to Nashville because Atlanta had gotten like really expensive. But this is the story of all over the country. Things got really expensive. Wages were not like catching up. She
Yeah.
really enjoyed Atlanta, but she's like, well, Nashville's only a couple hours. Like, when I want to come back and hang with my friends, I can do that.
Hmm.
And so that's exactly what she did. And then when she left Nashville, she moved back to Nebraska to support my grandma, who had suddenly gotten sick. And then I went I went back to Birmingham and then Dallas. And she came to Dallas when I became a mom.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
wait, so you didn't become a mom until you got to Dallas?
Yeah. I didn't become a mom until almost 4 years ago. So my son's almost 4.
Oh, that's awesome. And he's your
Yeah.
child?
I have 2 kids. So I
Yeah.
have a son and a daughter. Yeah, a 2-year-old. They're 11 months apart. So a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. They're about to be 3 and 4, literally in like exactly. Yeah, my son will be 4 in exactly 2 months, and then in
Oh,
a month and a day, my daughter will be 3.
that is awesome. Yeah, I was gonna say mine are kinda. It's 2 years and 16 days
Okay.
exactly. They are apart.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
yes. I understand that closeness. So I did have another question about what you said before we dive into some of these other questions that I had for you. But you said something about being an introvert and how like having to talk to the kids they came in and things that was something that you really had to get used to.
Mhm.
So being an introvert and like saying how you got into church groups, you got into Bible study, like you were getting out here and doing all these things. How were you able to overcome the feelings of being an introvert and not always wanting to be around people? How are you able to overcome that and build connections and community with people?
Yeah, I found my people. I got really close with the other ladies that worked at like the welcome reception desk with me.
Mhm.
I also I paid attention to my body. So if I started to get anxious, there were always other tasks to be done. I was in charge of like helping to count offering for a time. I would
Yeah.
help and go clean something up if I needed to just like move away, but something else needed to be done. There were always the way that things were set up was there was like always something else to do. So if I needed to move around because there were maybe too many people at the welcome desk, like
Mhm.
maybe more volunteers showed up, something else needed to be done, I would sort of move around. But I had my people. So I had my really close friend Tika was there with me. I had Carlene. Like I had people around where if I needed to maybe focus on one person and not the hundreds, because there were
Yes.
hundreds of kids walking in, or
Ooh.
it's hundreds of kids and then the volunteers. And then their
Oh,
parents are dropping them off. Like it is lots of people. And there's music and there's like, you gotta hype kids up or whatever.
yes.
So you gotta hype people up in general. Sometimes that was really overstimulating for me. And
Yeah.
so I would just pay attention to my body and then make a move or shift my focus to I'm gonna I'm still gonna engage, do my job, but I'm gonna like find a way to clue in this one person who I'm really close to right now, and she will engage me in a way that like takes the pressure off. So, um, really, really practicing self care in that way helped a lot.
Right. And so this is something where you really have to know yourself.
Yes.
Okay. So remember that this is one of the things that we're focusing deeply on in the Healing Takes a Village Summit is knowing our identity outside of things that we've grown up with. And so knowing yourself is going to be a really big key to being able to be in these spaces and find your community. So we're going to talk a little bit about your presentation for the Healing Tech
Yeah.
Village Summit. So your presentation is called Rebuilding Peace, Creating Parenting Systems That Heal, Not Harm. And I feel like nowadays we hear the word systems a lot.
Yep.
So your own words, describe what you would say a system is.
So a system is just the way in which you do things.
Okay.
And
That's
I
like
tell
that.
people, like, you hear the word system and you think, oh my gosh, that feels and sounds so complex. I don't need a system, right? That's going to require me to do, is that going to require me to do automations and I need to use AI and I need to, no, 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 no. It's just the way you do things. And all of us have systems that we're doing. You have a way in which you do things.
Yes.
And sometimes you don't even realize it. You wake up the same way. You might grab your phone first the same way. You open an app, you're either looking at your email, your calendars, right? Like there's a way you do things. There's a way that you clean your body every day. Like
Mm-hmm.
you might start with your face and you go to your shoulders and whatever, you brush your teeth the same. Like it is just the way that you do things. All of that together is a system. The issue is we're all using systems and a lot of them probably don't work for us. They're not in alignment with who we really are. They're just like the way you've always done it. When people say like that's just how I am, a lot of
Yeah.
that's just like system programming if we're going to use like official terms for it. And a program is just like something that's been repeated a lot. It's just the repetition of something. When you're I'm talking about like the teaching program that I was in, all it was like repetition and coaching for me to get in enough reps to be a good teacher and
Right.
doing that with a group of people. A system is the same way. So I like demystify systems a little bit without having to use those words and just saying a system is just the way that you do things. Everybody's doing something. My goal is to help make the systems work for you and work for your family.
Right. I love that explanation. It almost makes me think about like how in school we used to have to do the peanut butter jelly sandwich activity and you had to tell like which step you did first.
Yep.
So it makes me think of that process.
Yes.
So there's something that you had said about how it's just the way that we are, and that a lot of us are just going based on systems that, we probably learned growing up and we just continue to go with it. So like what are some systems that you feel before, you got into the swing of things of where your life is now? What are some of those systems that you feel that you grew up with that made you feel like this is just how I am?
Yep. Um, Negative self-talk is one system. It was a way in which I did things. I would write a goal and I immediately would talk about all the ways it wasn't going to happen,
Mhm.
or I would catastrophize it. So, like, I have a goal. This is what I want to do. Here are all the ways that that's not going to work. And I would spend a lot of energy going through the ways all of it isn't going to work and had no energy left to actually just take the logical next step. Um, the way in which I ate, which is a system. Like, I don't feel like cooking at home. Even if I do have food at the house, I just spent a lot of money on it at the grocery store. I enjoy cooking, right? But what did we do growing up when you didn't feel like cooking? You went and got fast food.
Yep.
Even if it doesn't matter what you knew or what
Mm.
you had, the system, the way in which I did things was when you don't feel like cooking, you just go and get some food and then you figure out the rest of it later.
Right.
Also, the way in which, and this happened probably like in college,
Mhm.
procrastination. Like that actually became a system. That's not how I grew up. That is not what my grandma wanted me to do. She wanted us to be very well planned and structured. We had systems for like the ways in which we did things. And sometimes as a child, you don't understand why. You're like, ugh, I don't feel like doing chores today. I don't feel like ironing out all these clothes for the week with a couple backups. I don't feel like that. But all that was preparation because she knew if an emergency comes up, if life lifes, because it always does, if all of a sudden it rains and you ain't have no clothes out, right? Or you wake up late or you don't feel good or something, right? Like you don't have anything to fall back on. So that's how I grew up. When I got
Right.
by myself, I said, I'm gonna do what I want. Like I'm out of the house, I'm gonna do what I want. So in college, got out of bed at the last minute, rushing. I'll
Mhm.
come back and do a shower after class, you know.
Yep.
But then after class, I'm tired, so I'm actually gonna lay back down. So I didn't even get in the shower before the next class. I didn't get any
Yep.
food. Like I was winging it.
Mhm.
And that became how I did things. And that even led into motherhood. Like I'm just winging it. Like there were times in my life where I did have structures and I did have a system, right? The way in which I woke up, I'm not touching the phone, I'm going to get up. I'm going to
Hmm.
shower, get myself together slowly. I'm going to like get a little bit of sunlight, drink some water, get dressed, blah, 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 eat something really good, play some music, like get the vibes right in here, and then start work. I fell into the habit of the alarm just went off, snooze. How many times can I snooze before like I absolutely have to get out of bed? Okay, great.
Right.
Right. And that became the system. That became the system. That became the programming. And it definitely led into motherhood and how I was mothering. And it led to like burnout. Burnout with motherhood, burnout with my job, burnout with the businesses that I had that I'm like, I got to close it because I'm tired. I don't have any energy. Yeah.
Mhm. Whew. Okay. Yeah, you're stepping on some of my toes because just about, let's see, about maybe a week ago, I had to get myself back in the game because I was doing the snooze thing. I was like, okay, just keep snoozing. We can wait a little bit longer. Like,
Yep.
no, you got to get up. We got to
Yep.
get the day started. So now that you are in a different state where you have begun to see that those systems no longer worked for you and your family, I know that you have a child with autism. So like what does systems look like for y'all knowing that your child has some of these things that can alter the way y'all do things?
Yeah. He actually thrives better on routine, like another word that you can use for systems is maybe routine. And so he needs routine, and really we all do, to be honest. And not some so rigid that there's no flexibility built in, but like so he's nonverbal, non-speaking,
Okay.
and he has found he's so smart, so brilliant. Kids with autism are so brilliant.
They are.
He will find videos on his tablet that speak to the things he wants. So Super Simple Songs has these all these different songs, and one of them and Coco Melon. He doesn't watch Coco Melon, but he found a song. When he's ready
Yeah.
for a bath, he turns on the bath song on the tablet, and he will let it run on repeat until I get it. There's a song with Super Simple Songs. Are you hungry? Yes, I am. When he's hungry, he plays that. Now he has a communication board where he can tap and tell me that he's hungry and whatever. But if it's not within his reach, he's like, that's fine. I'm gonna scroll and I'm gonna find the song and I'm gonna play it really loud because eventually it's gonna connect with mom's ears and I'm gonna get what I want. Right. Usually that's when like I'm a little bit off in our system and our routine, where I didn't come right in the house after I dropped them off while they're playing and start dinner. I went and did something else. I gotta hurry up and create this content. I gotta make this phone call really fast. I gotta send these emails. I need to look over this presentation again, something like
Mhm.
that. And so it brings me back into the present, because that's what he's living in. That's kids live in the present. They don't know
Yeah,
nothing about what
they don't
happened
care
5 minutes
about it.
ago. Nothing about what happened 5 minutes ago. They didn't forgot. It doesn't matter. They're over it. They're like, what are you talking about? And they don't know anything about the future. When I'm telling like, we can't go too far in the future with children. It is right now. So my daughter's like, Ma, I want ice cream. Yes, you can get ice cream after you eat your dinner and after your bath. And you'll see her wheels turning and she puts her fingers in her mouth. And she's like, you see her eyes moving like, she'll be like, Mom, I want ice cream. And I'm like, I gave you too many steps, huh? You can have ice cream after you finish your burrito bowl. And then once it's done, I'll get you your ice cream. Now I have to make sure I get her the ice cream.
Yes. We
I
gotta
can't,
hold
can't
our
be a
word.
liar. Give her the
Right.
ice cream because then we got a battle, right? But it has helped a lot. It's helped keep me in the present. It's helped us function better. We are not late as much as we used to be. I am less stressed. We have more time to play. I have more time to think about like our outings and what are the other things that we're going to do. Um, it's helped us a lot and it's helped him a lot. He's at the point where he actually just saw a therapist the other day, who's working with him on speech, and they're like, he's right there. It's like he's right there. He wants to do it, and they did some scans and stuff to kind of figure out like maybe where the blockages are, some really
Yeah.
cool stuff, right? But they're like, he's almost right there. And I think that is because of how much language immersion we're having, our systems. I'm narrating the system for him. I'm narrating the routine for him. Like, all right, come on, we're walking to go potty because we're potty training. Like, come on, it's time to go potty. And when you go potty, da, 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 when we get done, da, 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 da. And so that is how you will start to see him like, okay, yeah, I know exactly how this works. I'm gonna walk right beside mom. This is how we potty. This is
Yeah.
how we
Oh,
get in and out of the bathtub. This is how she brushes my teeth, even though he hates it. He's like, like, so it helps him and it helps me, and his reaction helps me adjust. His playing of the music on the tablet helps me say, I'm off today, huh? Put the phone down, put the computer away. None of this is so urgent. Like, none of it's actually urgent. It's not urgent. It's not an emergency. I can actually put this down. I need to get back present. Because these are the moments they remember. And these are the moments I want to remember.
exactly. Oh, I love that. So basically, we all can do well with some systems and some rhythms.
Yes. Yes, and they don't have to be complicated. I actually have I have something that's not even available to everyone, only available to this group that you will learn more about at the summit. But I also have another ebook that's out there where I told y'all the systems I'm using. You look at the page, set the timer, play some music, get the kids involved or your partner, whoever else is around to help you. And then when that 15-minute timer goes off, one, you'll have accomplished something, you'll feel better. And then I want you to be done. I want you to go celebrate after
Yeah.
that, right? Recognize that you did something. I think we're in an era where you see a lot of Pinterest and Instagram perfect aesthetics of parenting, of what your house should look like. 99% of our houses actually don't look like that. The color scheme is not like that. And some of these people are actually, I found out, they're renting out places to do content. So
Airbnb.
yes,
So
that's a whole other thing, right? And that's a sales tactic, right? That's a marketing tactic. Everything's marketing, everything's sales, right? And I'm not saying anything's bad about that. I'm saying when you don't check your mind and say, this is beautiful and I can be inspired by that, but that doesn't align with my life. So that's just going to be inspiration. I'm not going to allow any guilt or shame to take over from me because this person is selling something, a lifestyle. They make content to like inspire. That's the point. I
right,
have created the systems for you where it doesn't matter what your house looks like, how many bedrooms it is, who's in the house, who isn't there. There's even a system that takes 5 minutes for days where you're low energy or you're sick. In those, like, the purpose of that system is safety. Move everything out of the way that could cause me harm. Maybe take the trash out, wipe down the counters, disinfect the doorknobs or something like that, and then go lay down.
yes.
Go sit down. Like, because it's done. The purpose of that, it's done. You are now safe to move about as you need to in your home when you have the energy, right? Like, I don't know if I mentioned this, but also I'm a mom with chronic illness. And so today I've got energy, and in 3 hours I may not. I may be
Right.
in pain and having to lay down and all that kind of stuff. And so that I get. So yeah, so I have those resources out there where you don't have to think about it. I'm taking the mental load away from you. It's like 3, maybe 4 simple steps. You follow it, and then you're done. And you can move on to the next one. If you've got an hour, and you want to do 4 of them, you can. I also wrote about a system actually last night on Substack. So if you go to find Uncaped Mama letters, I'm pretty sure it's just Uncaped Mama on Substack. There's another system that I've given to people for free that you can just follow and make it work for your family. And it's literally like I have one priority cleaning area every day. I was
Yes.
trying to clean all day long to be Pinterest perfect because I thought good moms keep everything clean and they do everything else. And I'm just not good enough. I'm not a good mom. I don't know why God wanted me to do this because I can't even keep the
I can't.
laundry in the kitchen, right? Like, because I'm trying to, because toddlers, because babies, and I'm working and I'm building a business, and right. So I
Also,
wrote about how there's one priority every day. And I take a rest day, and Fridays are my rest day. So there is no deep cleaning today because every other day there was an area. I'll pick back up with some tomorrow. Sunday is like a general reset, and then the system starts again on Monday. Way easier for me to know on Monday I'm just doing floors. The deep cleaning is just the floors.
mm-hmm.
Sweep, mop, vacuum, floors, and when they're done, I'm done.
Done. Oh, I love that. Yes, that somebody definitely needed to hear that, and that somebody could also be me.
Yes. And I want to say that this does, sometimes people are like, ew, so you're saying everything else is dirty. No, y'all, obviously you're spot cleaning everything else as it comes up. You're still loading the dishwasher, washing the dishes. If you're potty training, kids have accidents or, something like that, something needs to be thrown in the laundry. Like, obviously, yes, you do
Yes.
that. But I want to take the pressure off of you feeling like I have to deep clean every day. Nobody actually does that. And it's unreal. The only places doing that every day are hotels.
Yeah. If we're honest, big
and
business.
they're and they're not even going as deep as I think they need to be. Right? So, and they have a staff who does that. There are people whose main job, their job is to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Your job is more than cleaning. Like, right? Your purpose is more than cleaning. Even if you have a cleaning business, your purpose is still more than cleaning.
Yeah.
If you're a mom, you are a sister, a brother, a cousin, a best friend, right? A leader, a visionary, a business owner, an author, a speaker,
Yes.
whatever, like whatever you were purposed to do on this planet, you don't need cleaning taking up 100% of your time. That's crazy. That's
Oh,
crazy. You get to deserve, you deserve to enjoy your life as well, and that's a mindset shift, and that takes some healing, and I'm certain that that'll be talked about in the summit as well. But that's why I focused on systems. That's what I'm really good at that. That's what I was really good at in my corporate job. That's how, I learned to really function. That is a way for me to honor my grandma who passed away almost exactly a year ago, is taking the thing that she taught me, and using it as a way to honor her while also helping other people.
I love that. That is so amazing. So before we wrap up, because you gave us a lot,
Yeah.
and this was very much needed. Like I said, somebody needed to hear that today. And so my last question for you is, what does healing takes a village mean to you?
Yeah. I think it means what it says. It you I think the biggest issue that's happening today is there's too much division and separation, and we have forgotten what it's like to be tribal, to be in a village, to be in community. You don't just say I'm a part of that. Like, it is reciprocal. It's reciprocal energy, it's reciprocal love, care, concern, conflict resolution, communication, like gifting, prayer, affirmation, all those things. Like, I when I think about a village, I think about the fact that I could not go anywhere in Omaha, Nebraska almost without somebody knowing my grandma. So there was no kid still. I no, because
Mm-mm.
I felt like God was gonna step out the sky and be like, "And I saw you too," right? Somebody would be, Dominique, hey, I can't do anything, right? But that was a village. Someone
Yeah.
always there to, one, protect me and hold
Mm-hmm.
me accountable. We
Yeah.
don't have that. People actually think that moms should be doing it by themselves, even if they are partnered. And we have to heal that mind. Like, letting go of that mindset also comes with a lot of change. You might feel like even there's some loss. You might feel like, I don't know how to navigate this. And so doing that healing work absolutely does take community, but it's going to take for you to give something to it, and also like as you receive. And so I think it's just that, like, you should not be doing any of this by yourself. We were not made to even do life alone. You were supposed to be doing it with a village, a tribe, a community, and that includes healing. You don't isolate yourself in healing. You don't. I know what the world tells you. I know what social media tells you, is cut everybody off, and then you need to just hibernate and go ghost for 6 months and then come and pop out. No, no.
It don't work like
you
that.
you no, that, like that, I don't know who's believing that. That's causing more harm
Yeah.
than healing. And so you do need a village. I think about a lot of the times where I was in need of like physical healing and things like that. I was not by myself. When I needed mental healing, I was in group therapy.
Yep.
That was a village, a community that I would never forget, because that healing, I needed more than one person. I needed more than myself. And so that's what it means. It requires community. And then you don't abandon that community when you heal from that thing, because it's going to be something else that I know about life that you're going to have to heal from. 10 years from now, you're going to encounter a situation that obviously you could have never planned for. You're going to be a different person then, that's going to require a different level of healing, and you're going to still need that village.
Amen. Oh, that's so good. Oh, thank you so much, Dom, for joining us
You're
and having this
welcome.
conversation. There's so much that we can take away from this. Just remember to go ahead and get your Healing Takes a Village Summit tickets. They are now open and ready, available. You can check out the link in my description to grab them. Again, thank you, Dom, and we hope to see y'all there.
You're welcome. See y'all there.
And don't forget to grab your ticket for the Healing Takes a Village Summit happening November 11th through the 13th, 2025. You're not going to want to miss this.